Hi, King Street Kids. I'm Jackie Long and I'm a registered nurse. I'm going to talk to you today about what a nurse does. When have you been treated by a nurse? You may have been to the doctor's office where they take your temperature, ask you a lot of questions to figure out what's wrong. They may have given you a shot. They may listen to your chest with a stethoscope. In the hospital, nurses manage IVs, which are tubings that go into your vein and give you fluid and medicine. You may work in surgery with the doctors, and you may take care of those same patients after surgery with their wounds, they're doing their dressing changes. You may take care of patients who have problems with their hearts, their lungs, or their kidneys, as well as newborn babies. Or how about this? Sick kids. Why did I become a nurse? Well, I didn't want to become a nurse. I wanted to be a teacher. But I was the oldest of 4 kids, and we wound up playing a lot of school. And so I wanted to be a teacher. Well, then I got very sick when I was 13 and wound up being in the hospital for a week. I was taken care of by a wonderful nurse. She was very caring, trusted me, she took good care of me, and even when she gave me a bowl of pureed peas to eat and I didn't like it, she tasted those peas and said yuck and gave me something else. I trusted her and she inspired me to be a nurse. So how did I become a nurse? I went to a 4-year college, and much like MUSC or Clemson, and got my bachelor's degree in nursing. You can also go to a 2-year college like Trident and become a registered nurse as well. You're more prepared to go on for advanced studies if you start with a bachelor's degree, because if you want to go on and become a nurse practitioner or a nurse anesthetist or a nursing instructor, you need a master's degree. So I went on and got a master's degree, and so I was a clinical specialist, a clinical nurse specialist, as well as an administrator. In nursing school, they teach you a lot in the classes: chemistry, biology. They teach you how to do dosing of medications where you need mathematics. So I encourage you, as you go through school, if you want to become a nurse, get that arithmetic down, get those sciences in. After completing the nursing part of the classes, you get to practice on dummy patients, as well as finally the real patient, and then you're a nurse. What kind of nursing did I do? Well, I started off in the intensive care and the cardiac care units. Those are where they take care of the sickest patients. And then, remember I always said I wanted to be a teacher? Well, you can do that as a nurse also. I was an in-service instructor where I taught new nurses coming into a hospital some of the procedures. As a supervisor, I taught my staff many classes. And finally, I became a national speaker, and I went around the country teaching nurses about how to do nursing better, how to get better patient outcomes. I finally found the type of nursing I loved: home health. I went out and made home visits to people in their home, who most of them had just gone home from the hospital. So they required just as high a level of care at home because hospitals just weren't keeping their patients in as long. So I took their temperature, their blood pressure. I taught them about their illnesses like diabetes, how to prick their finger, how for blood sugar, how to give themselves insulin shots. I taught them how to change their bandages, how to give IV medications through tubings, because they went home with IVs as well. I taught the families, the patients, how to do their medications, when to take them, what they were, how to take them, as well as how to do their own blood pressures. I also taught dying patients and their families how to take care of them at home and keep them comfortable. This type of nursing is called hospice nursing, and that I really loved as well. So you see, there isn't just one kind of nurse, because I did a lot of different kinds of nursing. As an administrator though, and I didn't have as much on contact with my patients, when I got the chance, I loved taking care of my patients. My email address even starts off with Nurse Jackie. So when you're around nurses, watch and see what they do, ask them questions. Nurses are helpers. They're caring people. People even call them angels of mercy. So whether you are a girl or a boy, you may decide to be a nurse, and we need more good nurses. Let's finish up by taking my blood pressure. I'm using an Omron electronic cuff, and you may see a number of different types of blood pressure cuffs in the different settings you're at. So I'm going to go ahead and start this electronic cuff and see what my blood pressure is today. The normal blood pressure, or the good blood pressure, is 120/80. That higher number is giving you the pressure in your arteries when the heart is pumping. The lower number is the pressure in your arteries when your heart is at rest. So we'll see what my blood pressure is here in a moment. We're getting there. So I hope you've enjoyed my presentation today. And again, I would love to see some of you decide to become nurses. And my blood pressure is 120/80 today. Isn't that wonderful? So I hope to see you again in the future. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.